Moving on, let's talk about the dynamics between baby mamas and baby daddies because we gotta talk about it. We just gotta talk about it. We just got to talk about it. And I just watched that interview that Jackie Matubia had with Dr. Ofenike on Dr. Ofenike's show. It's called Lessons in 30 or something like that. Anyway, Dr. Ofenike was had Jackie Matubia on the show, and I was very inspired by her story because honestly, she put it when she put the number on it. I'm just like, ugh, that's it. Okay, let me give you a real quick thing with regard to custodies. Now, Jackie Matubia has a child with Blessing Lungaho, and he doesn't want to be part of that child's life. Like, she has tried, apparently, adamantly, to follow up, to try and get him involved, and he's just like, yeah, no. He's just, no.
I've thought about it, but no.
I thought about it, and it's a no for me. And honestly, you're just like, okay. So basically, she started pursuing it legally, as we advise here people on the show many times. Akikataa kukupatia child support, peleka kwa government. Wacha government wakupambanie. You know, let the government fight for you. And she says she pursued it in court. And now, every 5th of the month, she had to go to court again for a hearing so that Lungaho can give money. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, he must be giving quite a bit of money for you to pursue it this hard. 20,000 Kenya shillings ndio Blessing Lungaho anakataa kutoboka kila mwezi. I'm just like, gosh, the government just sat down and said 20,000? Government. Wow. But the dynamics of baby daddies and baby mamas has been such that it is so twisted. Who was it that was talking about the fact that they had a baby daddy? One of the baby daddies is like super rich, and the other baby daddy is like super broke. So now the one baby daddy is taking care of the one child, his child, paying for her school in international schools, paying for and sending her money, taking her out for outings, and so on and so forth. But the other kid's baby daddy, deadbeat, brokey, has nothing. So the kid is in public school, and I'm just like, wow, the dynamics in that household must be crazy.
Guys.
Imagine, mtoto wenyu anapelekwa all the bre schools, bre bro, bre bra, you know? Anaenda uko vacation, anapelekwa Maldives, Seychelles, you know, China.
Anaongea kizungu ya mapua.
Anaongea hui. And then anakuwa to Karomaindo primary school, you know? Girl, Hannah allowance. Now the kid is starting to ask the mom, like, what do you mean my dad doesn't love me? Your dad loves you, but he broke. You know, he ain't got no money. You know, it's life. Live with it. And it is such a tough dynamic if you really think about it. Because, like, even her, pia wewe huwezi kuwa serious. Ukalala na billionaire alafu karudi kulala na popo.
Ali trust the process.
Unatesa mtoto wenyewe kwa nini? Like, it's not fair. And these dynamics are consistent. Like, you will hear the same narratives and the same stories. Ama utapata, now one of the baby daddies is just disappeared. Oop, ndio huyo Blessing Lungaho hapo. Hapatikani. Mteja wa nambari ulipiga hapatikani kwa sasa. Hapatikani ever. Hapatikani. So the other baby daddy now has to step in and take care of baby number 1 and then their biological child. And you find that this child grows up with like, Bona, your dad is always here for us and my dad isn't here. Like, there's a lot, like, you're bringing this child up in a situation where they will consistently think, where my dad is a situation. And then I had a friend, alipata baby mama. Baby mama akamwambia, haya, you wanted to trap me with a child? Here is your child. And she dipped. She just dipped. Baby girl said, I ain't got nothing. Nobody owes, I don't owe anyone. You wanted me to have a child? Here is your child. Pambana na hali yako. We even had the other one who's a 4-day-old, 4-week-old month child. Akamwambia, haya, shika marupurupu ya kipenzi chetu. Mimi nimesonga.
I have also had that conversation. I was like, ain't no way you're ever going to make me a single mother.
Oh, hell no.
If you and I ever not work,
you won't take your child.
You're going to take your child.
Anybody got time for
I am out of this. You need to
to
make it clear from the get-go.
Yes.
Because there's nowhere where it's signed that when you two break up,
the child must remain with the mother. Maternal instincts does not, it doesn't always compute.
Not for me, babe.
It doesn't compute.
I will go out in the dead of night like a thief. mimi sipendi safari.
utakuwa kama ule mwenye alirarua pants mguu moja, kila mguu anararua
Mkae na
kama
huko.
amesonga. But the realities of matters is like the dynamics between baby daddies and baby mamas is so interesting, especially in this day and age of social media, the drama, the tension, the pressure, all of these things. We don't know other baby daddies. What are other baby daddies doing for their baby mamas? What are other baby mamas doing for their baby daddy? Why aren't you doing this? Like kuna pressure mob. And then you find now you've moved on, your new partner is receiving the brunt of the nonsense that you guys have. It's crazy. So the question then becomes, what are these dynamics in baby daddies and baby mama situations? Like, is there one that you've seen that's been
I think the most pronounced
consistent?
one is the emotional dynamics between a baby mama and a baby daddy.
Girl.
Because when you guys got together, you were in love. This was meant to work. This was our family. It was going to work forever. We were going to put the kids through college. We were going to retire happily. And we were going to grow old together. Until somebody razzed, another said, haha, not for me, and excuse themselves out of the situation. So even if they've broken up, even if they've moved on to other partners, there's still that connection there. Some might mask it with hate. Have you ever seen people who can't be in the same room because they hate each other? But hate is still an emotion. You know? Some may say, you know what? I'm a mind my business. I will rise above. I will not engage. But you are rising above and you're doing all of this emotional intelligence because there is still emotion there. So whatever happens, there will always be a connection between the two of these people. It's just up to them to decide whether they're going to be mature about it, or they're going to be petty about it, or they're going to be bitter about it. And sometimes people say bitter, bitter baby mama, bitter baby daddy. Nobody is being bitter. People are just reacting because we don't know what happens behind closed doors. Maybe like when you were, you know, doing pillow talk, abuju buju, you were telling me how you want us to get back together, oh, your love of my life, and then you show up with a new person. Unamweka kwa helicopter ride, munatembea, munazuru Kenya, unasema introducing my new girlfriend. And then when I react to that nonsense, I am branded as a bitter baby mama. Ain't no thing as a bitter baby mama. It's just emotions there. There's love, there's hate, there's emotions.
Now, another dynamic that's very interesting is how they co-parent. Because I've just mentioned so many instances right now. Some people just decide to be deadbeat baby mamas, deadbeat baby daddies. And that is the reality of that. But some people rise above it, as Turi has said, and they become really good co-parents. Communication is top tier, and so on and so forth. And there's absolutely no reason for you to assume simply because they're cordial, simply because they're raising their child together, that they want to be together. No. Sometimes is you look at your child and you're like, all right, we brought this thing into the world, might as well sort it out, you know, might as well take care of it. Like, children are innocent, and we keep saying this. Children are innocent bystanders. They did not choose. They did not choose to be brought into this earth. And now that you've brought them here, you have to do good by them. You have to stand by them. You have to support them the best you can. You have to take care of them. So sometimes you will see some co-parents are doing well, cooperating, and others just really don't.
And I think the most important thing, as Kathomi has said, is the well-being of this child.
Absolutely.
No matter what happens in our lives, in our individual lives, or the chaos that comes in when the two of us are in one room, it should never affect the well-being of a child. And some children of divorce thrive because they become manipulators. Nenda kwa mama yangu hii weekend namwambia I need 50,000. Narudi kwa babangu namwambia I need 50,000. And if you two parents never talk to each other because you're beefing, this child will really benefit from milking the both of you dry. But if you guys are in a situation where you constantly communicate about your child in a respectful manner, kuna boundaries. Sasa tunapigia baby mama wako saa 9 za usiku, asipochukua namuza ulikuwa na nani. Hamko together anymore, babes, okay? If just because you all are not living in the same household does not mean that you get to be, you know, very malicious about the way you guys handle each other. As long as the child is okay, y'all should be, as long as the child is okay, nothing else matters. And also fighting for custody when it comes to the well-being of a child. There are some people who are like, I know you want to see your child each and every other day, but maybe we should create for them a stable environment, you know, like prolonged stays and visitations and so forth. Imambwati, Akauku this weekend Akauku. It is so chaotic, and nobody is ever fighting for a child. That's usually just a manipulation tactic. Nobody sits and say, I am fighting for my child. I want them to be with me every other day. That makes no
It's
sense.
work.
And it makes no sense. Imagine your child spending half of his life in traffic because he's just in between houses. Huyu anaishi Rongai, huyu mwingine anaishi Kileleshwa. The child is always in traffic. Half of their childhood gone. Niye kwa City Hopper. Guys, you gotta do better.
Another one I think is the potential complications that could come from being intimate with other people, starting to date other people, and so on and so forth. And again, I'm a quote Jackie Matubia because she poured some knowledge into me. Look, guys, heal, heal. One relationship to another, heal. Don't be jumping ship every 2 seconds because you're trying to show them the way. Me, I am VIP. Me, I am wanted in this world. You're not the only one who wanted me. There is absolutely no reason why you should be breaking up with someone today and you are in a wholly new relationship the next day. Unless you have magic powers of healing, unless you had been broken up with this person for months in your head and you've already healed, like you've gone through the 5 degrees of separation, there is no reason to be hopping onto a new relationship just for the purposes of one-upping the other person. You won the breakup. Absolutely no. And oftentimes you find that in these scenarios with baby daddies and baby mamas, it's always trying to one-up the other person. It's always trying to I won the breakup situations. And honestly, it leads to a lot of begrudging feelings between each other, a lot of jealousy, a lot of manipulation, a lot of hateration. Now your kid is over there saying, "My mommy told me that you're not my mommy, and I should never call you my mommy." Like my daddy told me that you're broke. You know, now you're putting all this nonsense on a child. They're a child. Can you let the child be a child, and can you stop being childish? Be better. Try and figure out the dynamics of your new relationships. As Turia said, instill boundaries. Instill proper boundaries such that I know that my new partner is not subject for conversation or further for you to start having conversations with my child against this person. My new relationship has nothing to do with my old one, and you're my old one, so let's be cordial. The dynamics of new people in your child's life is already strange enough. Imagine your child used to see you and your partner hugging and loving on each other, and now they see you doing the same with someone else. Of course, it's confusing. So why make it even harder by making the other person a villain in the story? Do better.
And there's no handbook. There's just no one way to handle this situation. Every circumstance is different. Every co-parenting situation is different. The reason for the split is different. Not everybody was caught cheating, or not everybody was abusive. Some people just grew out of love and they mutually said to each other, hey, I think it's time. This is no longer working. So there's just no one rule of how to handle these situations. It is different. It is unique to every situation. So you go with the flow. Go with what works for your household. What works in mine might be toxic in yours. So you'll need to figure out what works for you and is in the best interest of your children.
Priority is
Yep.
the child, as always. Yeah, that's been our show. See you next week.